So we open with strike, 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 strike. No scabs are gonna take our jobs. Then we cut to the Wintertons over at the Russells telling her, look, we gonna bring over some old money, but we need that center box. Girl, Mr. Church came home drunk. And now, Bannister gonna tell Mr. Russell. Girl, so now Oscar back with this money and they paying him to get out? Okay, girl. Girl, so he's like, how about I come back with some principles since I'm getting a taste of this? Scammers, baby. Girl, he in there being as stupid as Yandy, tearing that check up. They knew they got a fool in him. So at the Van Ryan's house, Ada sends a letter about her honeymoon, and Dashiell sends an invitation to a party for the botanical gardens, and he wants you there, Marion. Aw, she gotta teach instead of go to the party, cause she don't want that man. Why not teach them on the following day? They'll still be poor and needy on the 22nd, I promise you. Oh my God. Agnes, you ain't shit. Miss Scott tell her about her running down south. What? And she tells Marion about the chaos. With the footman, he done figured out how to make a better alarm clock. So the whole downstairs pools their money so he can apply for a patent. A patent. I love the cook. Go and make us proud. However, Peggy parents tell her, girl, they trying to close the black schools down in the city. Girl, but we got Ada and the Reverend visiting Agnes for the first time since the honeymoon. Girl, so even Dashiell begging for her to go to the party. And she's like, nope, I gotta teach. Upstairs, he get the rest of the money from Marion and Agnes. They're like, I like supporting an inventor. We can throw away $5. Downstairs, they looking for a maid for Miss Russell, and they settle on a French heifer. But girl, on the train, they planning on busting the strike. Mr. Russell tell one of the opera sissies, you better give us that box back and put old Winterton wherever you can. Bump her ass. So the doctor looking into some things for Ada's new man, but he just got them a beautiful music box. Lord, he looked like he about to croak. Aw, so we find out that Church was drunk because it was the anniversary of his wife's death who died at 24. Lord, so Bannister done already outed Church, so now he got to try to get the letter back. Meanwhile, we got old Oscar getting ready to throw his family into poverty investing in this cloak and dagger bullshit. However, over with Miss Bertha, she happy the Duke is coming to the opera opening. Uh-oh, the Reverend getting some bad news from the doctor. At the school, however, one of the teachers is like, you got to go to that party. I'll take over for you here. Out of the solarium, it's a beautiful day. Girl, Oscar kissing Miss Beaton in the gazebo, asking to marry her. Bannister go over and he's like, look, I sent your boss a letter and I need it back. I was ratting you out because you ratted me out. Oh, he don't even confess. He make up some bullshit to get him to pull the letter. Rather than say I was telling on your drunk ass. Girl, we got Dashiell giving an open proposal. Girl, he getting down on one knee and she like, She's like, okay, if you really want me to, but it's gonna be a no once we ain't in front of all these people. We got Train Daddy going to see the leader of the union. He done gone down to his slum. So he trying to strong arm him into the deal, and the leader is like, nah, we need it all. We need health care, we need better conditions, we need more money. So he see them kids ain't even in school, and he's all soft-hearted about it. He's like, why wasn't them kids in school? They ain't got no school, fool. You build a town without a school, that's all they got, is the mill. At the Van Ryans, we got Lena and Mr. Sissy telling Agnes, look, that heifer Russell winning and getting the Duke at our opera house. So they tell Mr. Sissy, you better work your connections and get him back at the academy. Downstairs, the footman finds out he's got to join a watchmaker's society to get his work considered for a patent. Lord, we find out the Reverend done got the cancer and ain't got but 2 episodes left. Damn, Ada just started getting the dick, and now it's gonna die on her. However, young Russell congratulate Marion on her engagement, and she's like, oh shit, that's right, I gotta break that off. So we get a tense standoff, but Train Daddy, of course, calls the troops off because he's like, I don't want my mills to burn up and there's kids up in here. I don't feel right. Okay, girl. We just rewrite history to make the pink toes look good, but hey, real history is too depressing. All right, let's get to episode 7. So we open with young Russell advocating for the woman engineer. Uh-oh, Train Daddy put a little clause in that contract where it was only for the tradesmen in 6 months to split that you. We gotta talk about the union. We gotta talk about the union. About the union, boo. So with Peggy, Marion backpedaling and pussy popping about this engagement. This gonna be your second broken engagement, but till you get it right. We know she's gonna end up with young Russell, though. So Heifer asked her to go to Miss Russell and tell her, I got you a box. And Miss Russell's like, too little, too late. What? Over with Miss Scott, they having a meeting about the pink toes trying to close the schools, and they said we need to integrate to get the board to care. We was integrating this early for the old 2468 Heifer. Ooh. I have something so nasty to say, but I'm going to remain likable. They said, look, we're going to have to get some white teachers, too. I get it. Throw them up his armor. Oh, and Peggy like, you know what? I know just the honky. But we're having an engagement luncheon at the Van Ryans. Hey, Marion, you better break that shit off. Girl, Oscar telling Miss Fain he going to propose to, Maud. She's in Newport for now. Yeah, she done ran off with your money. Over at the Russells, Bertha's mulling over Lena's offer, but Train Daddy tell her, you'll be a found member at the Met and reign supreme. You always want to be up under Heifer Astor's skirt. So we have a meeting where Marion does her speaking for the black teachers to the white teachers, and we got some Irish teachers that are like, hey, we'll join the cause. Don't nobody want to hire us either. However, over with Train Daddy, the leader of the union is like, you know what, this gonna split us up. I see your plan, Heifer. Over downstairs, Flora goes to visit her footman father. So the daughter says, look, we gonna retire you. You could give up this job and you gonna be in my life as my father. And that's just that. You just a retired banker from now on. No more servant for you. Child, Oscar go to Mr. Russell and tell him we about to buy you out. Mr. Russell's like, girl, you getting flim-flammed. Girl, Oscar run to that businessman's office and ain't nothing there. They done stole the funds. He run to Maud's house. She don't live there. Over with Heifer Astor, she's giving a tea and all the girls are there. And Bertha let her know, I'm sticking with the Metropolitan. I can't change planes now. And Heifer Astor pissed. Now Oscar run up on Miss Fain. Where's Maud beaten? Because she beating you out of your money. However, over with Train Daddy, all the businessmen pissed at him for giving in to the unions. So Oscar tell his boyfriend about the money. First, boy, you got to tell his mama she broke. Aw, he crying to his man. Yeah, being broke ain't no fun. Girl, young Russell give the lady the credit she deserve at the Brooklyn Bridge Trustees meeting. Ooh, the chef asking the head maid out. And everybody watches the fireworks going off, but the Van Ryans is broke. They don't know it, but they broke. Aw, the Reverend died. Get the body out before he shit himself, Jesus. I don't want to know what it smelled like back then. At least the footman got into the Watchmakers Association, so now they'll consider his patent. But now Oscar gotta tell his mama she Po. Nearly, how much did you lose? Nearly all of it. Boom, show ends. All right, let's get to the last episode of the Second Seas. So we open with Miss Russell pissed that Heifer Winterbottomed and stolen the Duke. Mr. Russell's like he's been passed around like an old shoe. Over with the Van Ryans, Agnes is broke as a he-hank. She's got a little left if she sells the house and gets some loose Arab clothing that can be put on without a maid. What do I care that you're sorry? You drag our name through the dirt and throw us into ruin. You've thrown away the work of centuries. However, the Oscar sissy tells Miss Russell, look, you gonna have to steal that Duke back because they gonna go where he is. Girl, we got the downstairs staff looking for jobs over at the Van Ryans, or the Van Brokens. Oh, the footman got his patent. Girl, we see Mr. Borden, the chef, and the head maid running in the rain. Marion takes the footman over to young Russell to help him get his patent going. At the Van Ryan's house, Peggy let him know your servant's scared they gonna be turned out to the street. But over at the Russells, Mr. Sissy visits Bertha. And Miss Russell pissed that Mr. Sissy got the Duke over on Heffa-Asta's side. So she asked how much did it cost to get the Duke over there, and he's like, she's offering to open America, open New York for him. It's not just the cash. So she go to Train Daddy for more money, and he said, look, I spent enough on this damn opera house. You gonna be happy with it, and that's that. Lord, we got the honkies changing meeting times for the school assemblies. Fortunately, Peggy's pappy finds out, and he runs and tells that. So they were able to save 2 of the schools over at the meeting. At the house, the cousin offered to pay for that wedding that Marion don't want to go through. With. Lord, so it's the next day, and Marion gonna break up with the damn Dashiell cousin right when the family done gone broke. If there was ever a time to marry for money, it would be now, but he seems nice, but I could see not wanting to be stuck with him forever. And that damn kid. So he go on his merry way. He's like, well, shit. So Ada's like, oh, you told him? Yeah, Agnes gonna be pissed. Girl, Agnes got a lot to be pissed about. Don't worry about her. Over with Heffa-Asta, Miss Fish comes in and says, look, the papers are split. Who's he showing up with? Over with Miss Russell, she dropped by the Duke's Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. At school, the little heifer asked Marion why she ain't marrying her pappy, and she said, because I don't love him enough, and I don't want to be saddled with you. The saddle with you was me, but you could feel it. Miss Russell give her head maid 2 tickets to Faust, so she gonna take that chef. So Miss Scott quit the paper because she fall in love with her boss. Girl. So that night, Marion and Agnes getting ready to go to the competing operas. Oh, now Agnes got a point. You got 2 strikes against you, heifer. You can't afford another. I'm like, if you don't want to marry him, don't marry him. But pick the next one, okay? Go on and marry that Russell boy. Time passes quickly. Don't throw your life away. Girl, but here come Turner turning up, and she realizes she didn't get that center box. Yep, the Duke show up at the Met. Russell 1, Astor 0. Girl, the chef kissed the maid hand. So we find out the Duke probably got promised a good old date with Gladys, because Gladys is interested in somebody else, but she's like, focus on the Duke. But then we see young Russell take Marion home, and they kissing on the steps. Oh, and Russell want to go into business with the footman and his new clock. However, we get in the house, and the season is ending, and Ada let everybody know, girl, the Reverend was rich. Rich, we gonna be okay. The servants ain't gotta leave. And the servants are like, oh, that's great, but we take orders from the heifer that pay us now, so you can shut it up, Agnes. And the last line is, I suppose things will be a bit different now. I cannot wait for season 3. I hope you watch it with me. It is the best. This is one of the best TV shows. It's fun, it's light. It's just what we need in these trying times. So I'm going to see you soon for Basketball Wives.